Hello, Jason Virtue here from Land Life Education. Thanks for tuning in. Now you're probably sitting there wondering, why on earth today is he wearing a party hat and his favourite party shirt? Well, the simple fact of the matter is that I'm making this particular blog in July 2017. And in my part of the world, it's the beginning of a new financial year. And whilst people know in our house we're a little strange, that's a really good time for us to make a plan for the financial year that is ahead of us. And the question that I have for you today is, are you materially and financially better off than you were 12 months ago? And if the answer is, I don't know, or no, I'm not, then my question to you is, why? Why don't you know what's going on with your finances? And why haven't you been able to make positive changes to your financial circumstance in the last 12 months? In the work that I do with farmers and land managers and small business people, both in rural and urban areas of Australia, without exception, most of these people that are managing an enterprise or a business have a great deal of reticence about managing the money that flows into and out of their business enterprises. A lot of them say, well, Jason, we don't need to worry about our finances because we've got a really good accountant and they make sure that things work for us. And I understand that having an accountant today is an essential part of business, simply because the tax implications that we face as wage earners and as business people require us to have a very good working relationship with the tax office. But the thing that I see with people who rely on their accountant for the financial management of their business is that almost without exception, they still don't have a deep understanding of the money that flows into their business and flows out of it, and what they can do about it to change their circumstances. Well, the work that I do with people is I sit down and help them work out a plan for their business and indeed a plan for their life. And if you're serious about being better off financially this time next year than you are today, then the very simple solution is that you have to create a plan that you're invested in and a plan that works for you. And most importantly, it's an individual plan. We don't offer a cookie cutter situation where we make plans for people that are the same everywhere. Because you and I as people are as individual as our thumbprint, and the businesses that we operate, whilst they may be in the same industry, they're all very individual as well. The fact of the matter is, you need to be working with a plan that you believe in and that it makes sense to you. So I heartily encourage you to sit down and take charge of the financial circumstance that you're in. It's very, very easy to do. And in under 3 or 4 minutes, I'll share with you the work that I do in helping people take charge of their enterprise. So the first thing we ask people to do when I sit across the kitchen table from them is write down what they believe that their business or their household or their enterprise is going to bring in over the next 12 months. We ask them to plan pessimistically and optimistically and at a run-of-the-mill case so that we have a few scenarios to work with. Then once we've articulated that figure, I ask them to say, well, how much of that money would you like to keep? How much of that money would you like to have so that you can do some important things in your life with? Once we've articulated that, we set that money aside. So the first step is planning the income. The second step is planning the profit. Now, whatever is left over, that is all that is available for you to spend on the expenses of your business and the expenses of your life. So it's a really simple process. The trouble is it's not easy, because you and I as humans have dedicated ways of behaving and managing that we've learnt through a lifetime of business activity and a lifetime of living. So again, if you wish to be better off in 12 months' time than you are today, from a financial or a business sense, the only person that can make that a reality is yourself. I do offer people some tools and some ideas to help make that change, and indeed a lot of the work that I do is simply a case of sitting down with people on a regular basis, monitoring what's happening with their financial situation and encouraging them and inviting them to create a different reality for the circumstance that they have. It's definitely not about me sitting there with you and saying you should do this or you should do that. The work that I do is helping people create an individual plan that works for them, and to provide them with opportunities and to ask them some hard questions about their business that most other people are afraid to ask. So, now that it's July 2017, just like you, in 12 months' time I'll be celebrating the end of this financial year and looking forward to the beginning of a new financial year. And I certainly have a plan in place for my life and my household and my business that I want things to be materially and actually better off in 12 months' time than they are today. And I encourage and invite you to look at your business the same way. You do have the capacity to make a business that's much better in the future than it is today. It will take some effort, and it will take some work and some investment of time that you may have not been making up until now. But it is possible. You're the person that can make the big difference in your business. And as always, if I've raised any ideas or topics in the blog today that have concerned you in any way, shape or form, I'd be really happy to talk to you about them, and I invite you to contact me either via email or telephone. And as usual, the contact details are at the end of the blog here today. So please remember, at Land Life Education, I offer everybody, wherever they are, a positive choice for change. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. And by the way, happy new financial year.